Welcome back. It is still Afro Sports, and now in focus, let's talk about an issue that is dominating the tabloids in Nigeria. It's because yet another promising young athlete is set to ditch the country for greener pastures. This time, it's the Nigerian sprinter Favour Ofili, who has reportedly is in the process of switching her allegiance to Turkey ahead of the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. This follows the Paris 2024 Olympics, where Ofili met the requirements to compete in a women's 100-meter event, but was left out by the Athletics Federation of Nigeria after they failed to register her for the event. It also marked the second time in her career that she'd missed an Olympic event, adding to the 2021 saga when the EFN and Nigeria's National Anti-Doping Committee failed to get her and 13 other athletes tested in time for the Tokyo 2020 Games. The 150-meter world record holder was deeply frustrated with the Federation's handling of the matter, will now represent Turkey, having reportedly begun the process on May the 31st. Well, I'm glad to say that I have got experienced Nigerian athletics journalist, Mr. Darius, joining us on Afro Sports and Now in Focus. Great to have you on the show once again. Hello.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. Now that's good. I can hear you also. All right. First and foremost, for maybe Nigerians who are hopeful like myself, from what we understand, this process is still. What does it take to switch allegiances from one country to another? Let's start from there. Is it a long process? Could she potentially take part at the World Athletics Championship representing another country?
Well, the process is usually long, but it can be shortened if the federation gives the consent. But if the federation does not give the consent, I'm talking about Athletics Federation of Nigeria now, then it's going to be a long process, as long as 3 years. That means she will not compete for Nigeria for 3 years. And that 3 years has counting from last year because she has not competed this year. So by 2027, she will be free. So that means she can compete for Turkey at the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. But if Nigeria gives the consent, she can compete at the World Championship in Tokyo.
The way it's looking at the moment, it does look like the Nigerian Federation has given their consent, because they've basically said that they're not going to stand in her way.
They will say that, but the events, what has happened since the story broke out, is not bigger than the ASA to handle, because we are not talking about just an ordinary athlete. I'm sure the National Sport Commission is now on top of it, and there is no way the AFN can say, yes, go. No, they can't. So the statement they issued, which they shouldn't have in the first place, because they've not received any correspondence from Turkey. How can a federation be relying on rumors? And in relying on rumors, you started saying bad things about the athletes, painting the athletes in bad light. That is never done. What if the athlete decides to say, okay, I'm not going to Turkey again? Are you going to take back those bad things you said about that? So they acted unprofessionally, yes. But the truth of the matter is that the issue has gone beyond the AFN.
In your experience, obviously there've been previous Nigerian athletes who've turned out for other countries. The ones that come to mind, mostly maybe Francis Obikelu back in the day, and Gloria Aluze, the hurdler. Is there a way back for the AFN and Favour Ofili in this situation?
Yes, there is a way back, and that's where government comes in, because Ofili cannot and will not trust those who are at the end of affairs now. Twice she's been messed up, and unfortunately, the second time, that was at the Paris Olympics last year, the attitude of the AFN. You see, I was a member of the former board, so let me just divulge a bit of a secret now. I was a member of the last board. When the board met after the whole episode, and we wanted to raise the issue, the president, Okowa, just told everybody, no, that issue will not be raised. We were like, what is it? This is the most important issue for us to talk about. If blatantly refused. So you can see the attitude. That's why when you saw the press statement yesterday, I was just laughing. I said, you shouldn't be coming up with this kind of press. He also refused. He said it will be done later. So when he did it later, dissolving all the subcommittees, he still brought him back. So this thing is beyond them, and I don't think that can be solved if it's only AFN. It's only if the federal government comes in, not even Shehu Diko and Olokwade. It has to be the federal government at that level.
In terms of what this does for young athletic stars who are coming through the ranks, how you see them treat someone like Favour Ofili, who obviously has got a really bright future, seems to be blossoming just at the right time, and there's the real possibility of losing her. It's happened in the past, looks like it might happen again. If it does happen, where does the AFN go? And like you said, if the federal government are going to intervene, how are they going to do that?
The truth of the matter is that athletes switching allegiance is not new. It's only when it gets to the big stars that you make a lot of noise. And that's why we are making this noise about Ofili now. When Sawa left for Bahrain, she was an unknown athlete, so nobody raised any eyebrows. There are a number of Nigerian athletes that have gone to Bahrain now, that have gone to the Middle East. Even one is in Qatar. One Shegun is in Qatar now. But because they were at the junior level, nobody raised any eyebrow. But the moment you get to the level that Ofili has gotten to, that you are seeing a potential medalist in Tokyo later this year, and you are seeing a medalist at the Olympics in 2028, because she's developing better every year. And in your intro, you mentioned 150 meters record holder. What that means is that she needs to work on a faster 50 meters to become a medalist in the 200. So you can understand the caliber of athletes that you are losing, and that's why we're having this discussion about Ofili. But there will be so many have gone. There will be so many that will still go. What we are praying for is that we don't get somebody that has gotten to the level Ofili has gotten to and now wants to drop Nigeria. Then we need to get back to ourselves and look ourselves in the face and say, are we doing the right things? And the answer is that we are not doing the right things. The National Sport Commission is talking about resetting, relaunching, and refocusing. There's no way you can reset if you don't correct the mistakes that you have made. Are they correcting any mistakes? There was a panel that was set up by the former minister. Diko came in. Personally, I sent the report to him. Do you know what he told me? No, we want to start on a clean slate. That is their usual talk. They are not serious. They thought this guy would not do anything, and she has done something now. And now they started running Nectar Skater. So their administrators are not serious. To them, she can go to hell. After all, there are others that will come up. Whether Nigeria makes it or not doesn't concern them. And it's because there are no consequences for action. If you are going to be fired for something, you know that you have to be serious about it. But in Nigeria, they're giving them so much money, and what are they doing? Organizing competitions here and there. They have not even started developing any sports. So that's the problem we are having. We don't have the right administrators to lead us to Eldorado. And with the look of things, a lot of them, after Ofili, a lot of them will leave after Ofili. Maybe the next 2 weeks we'll hear another one.
I like that last angle as we close this conversation. You did talk about the fact that it almost feels like this matter around Favour Ofili, especially after she wasn't registered for the 100 meters at the last Olympics, and of course the failure to have the doping tests conducted for the Olympics in 2020. Is there a feeling like they didn't particularly expect her to blossom as much as she has in the last few months?
No, I didn't get you.
Is there the reason why most of the issue around Favour Ofili in the past has been swept under the rug? Is it because they didn't feel like she was going to develop to the level that she has gotten to right now?
I don't think so. For every genuine lover of athletics, you will have known that Ofili is a future star, and that at some stage she will develop. And if you look at what she's been doing since 2021, I still at the collegiate level, unless you are a novice, you will know that this is a star. Running 21.96, no Nigerian has broken 23 seconds in 200 meters. And this is somebody who has done 21.96. That is world standard by any reckoning. What that means is that she only needs to get to that level, and it's a very short step to get to the level of winning a medal. And that's what she needed. Even at the Olympics, it was obvious at the Olympics that Her target was the 100 meters, not the 200 meters. If she had concentrated on the 200 meters, she would have won a medal at the Olympics. But her target was the 100 meters. Why did I say her target was the 100 meters? All through the season, before the Olympics, she was running only the 100 meters. And twice, she ran 10.78 with a marginal tailwind, 2.1. What that translates to is that with a legal wind, that should have been like a 10.8. That means she was ready to run the 100. But our officials, they've concluded that she's a 200 meter specialist. So they decided the events that she will run for. They didn't make any mistake. It was deliberate because they thought, oh, let her just do 2 events, the relay and 200. That's where she's very good at. You don't decide for athletes because she has a different plan. And it's obvious that they messed up her plan. So that's where the problem is. So we don't have administrators who take the athletes into confidence. You talk to them, what do you want to do? You can even advise. Why don't you drop it 100 or 200? So let it be a decision that this is the one I want to drop.
All right.
Not you acting like you are the head coach. You can do and undo. Even the coach cannot drop any events for her. It is the athlete that will tell the coach, see, this is the one I want to drop.
All right.
But unfortunately, those are the kind of administrators we have in Nigeria.
All right. It's always very eye-opening when we talk to you. Thank you very, very much for coming on, Mr. Darius, on once again.
You're always welcome.
All right, that was Darius on there, a renowned Nigerian athletics journalist, as always, giving us an in-depth look amidst this very, very important case of Favour Ofili's impending switch of nationalities to Turkey to compete at major events. And on that note, we have come to the end of Afro Sport Now in Focus. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Favour Ofili. We'll see you next time.